Good evening, Unique Couples community. We are Vito and Linda Patrick, founders of Unique Couples and co authors of Seven Pillars to Strengthen Your Marriage. Welcome to day number 17
Oh my
of the
goodness.
Seven Pillars to Strengthen Your Marriage Summit, Marriage on a Mission. And like mentioned, we have another dynamic couple who is
Hmm.
with us this evening, and we are going to be in for another treat. We're going to be in for an awesome time this evening.
Yes, I can't believe it. We actually made it to day 17. So that is definitely excitement. Woo! Excitement, excitement, excitement. So we said 30 days, 30 couples, 30 ways to make your relationship stronger, healthier, and happier in 30 minutes or less a day. And so it has indeed been a marriage on a mission. And we're excited to have the Burrows in the house. Yes. And guess what? You'll have extra, a special treat because not only are they married, so they're a couple, they are ministers, so that's an extra treat.
Yeah.
And also, they're professionals at this as well. So they're marriage
Yes.
therapists. So you got
Mhm.
like a whole lot in one. So we're all excited about our special guest. So go ahead and share. Let someone know we are on. And listen, they are going to definitely be inspired.
Yes, and we are going to dive straight into the conversation. We don't want to waste a second of it. Good evening, Dr. Burrows and Minister Burrows. How are you guys doing?
Doing, doing very well. Doing very well. Doing, thanking God
Awesome.
for health and strength.
All right,
Amen.
awesome. Great
I
having both
concur.
of you here this evening, taking time out of your schedule to be with us today. So we're going to go straight into it. Can you tell our audience a little about yourselves and how and when did you meet? Dr. Burrows?
Uh, well, my name is Elvis Burrows.
Go straight into it.
Elvis Burrows is my name. I grew up in Cat Island, and then I left when I was about 16 and went to the College of the Bahamas. I spent a full year. Then I came to Borco, where I worked for 21 years. And while at Borco is where I met this lovely lady.
Mhm.
While working at Borco, and I spent 21 years at Borco. Then I transitioned into the ministry through Zion Baptist Church in Freeport, and I went off to seminary, spent 6 years at the Southern Baptist Theological Seminary in Louisville, where I did my studies, came back and was elected pastor of Central Zion in 8 Mile Rock from 2006 in August. And I've been there ever since, and it's been a joy working with the folks at Central Zion. And I guess she'll tell you how we met. You want to do
Yeah, I guess we met. I was working at the hospital, the local hospital here on the island called the Rand Memorial Hospital. And he came in with another friend. And when he saw me, he was love at first sight for him.
I think she's right, you know.
Yeah.
No, let me give you the full truth of it, right? I went there with another friend whose girlfriend was working in the lab at the time. And I just went along. And so as we were leaving the lab, I saw this lovely lady walking up the walkway with a little girl in holding this little girl hand. And I was wondering who she was. And I'd never seen her before. I didn't know who she was, but I was immediately attracted to her. But I told myself I did not want to marry a girl who already had children or had a child. But when I saw her, I was ready for that stepchild. But I found out later that the child was her niece. And so that was, that put the icing on the cake. And so I inquired, to my friend, I said, who's the young lady? And she said, you want to meet her? I said, yeah, today. She said, man, come back tomorrow. I said, what? But tomorrow I was back bright and early. That's how we met. And, it's history ever since.
Yes, the rest was history.
Yeah, that's the best thing ever happened to me other than my salvation with God.
Awesome. It's amazing. I heard the story and, parts of it, and it's still, sometimes it's still like, oh, wow. You still get that awe feeling about it. And this part about you saying, boy, I don't know. I was ready to welcome the stepchildren. And sometimes it's like that, when you meet somebody and you're like, okay, whatever it is. And
Whatever
so
it is.
that was really interesting that you were like, okay, she was definitely worth it,
Oh,
even if, baggage came, not that the children are baggage, but something that you didn't necessarily want coming in. And so for couples out there, sometimes you might see or see people or situations and you're like, oh no, never. And sometimes the never is something that definitely happens. So be open to
Also,
making adjustments.
maybe Linda, it might not have been on your list.
Yes.
And then you see it and you right away, you just take it off your list or say, I'm not going to even bother with that. But sometimes it's worth a little exploration because what you see might not always be what the real thing is.
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
All right. So Minister Burrows, can you tell us what is an obstacle or challenge you faced in dating or marriage, and how did you overcome it?
Is it you?
Mr. Oh, I thought you said Mr. Oh,
So
me?
the question for both of you.
Oh, okay. An obstacle in marriage, and how did we overcome it? Go ahead, Elvis.
Well, when I met her, I had always said to myself, I was not getting married until I was 25. Okay. When I met her, I was about 19. And that was a non-negotiable for me at 25. I'm happy to say by age 25, I was celebrating my second year anniversary. So there goes again. Never say never, but I think I had to make adjustment. But in dating, her dad was strict. And I had to get used to that because I grew up in a home where, there wasn't, my mother was a single mother, so dad wasn't necessarily present all the time. I had a granddad, but, he was older and not into that stuff. And so I had to get adjusted to a dad who was strict, authoritarian. I had the rules and I had to adjust to those rules. And once or twice it got a little got a little difficult, and I thought we might not have made it to this point or to the point of marriage, but it worked out well. And at the end of the day, her parents became really near and dear to me.
Awesome.
And so I guess how I would answer that, I was going to say something similar to what he said, because, in dating, I had the rules. I had both parents. And he was from a single parent and he was already living in Freeport by himself. So it wasn't like any rules. And just like he said, then he had to get used to now dating someone who was in a 2-parent home, who was a minister, who was strict, and he was not able to be as free. I wasn't able to be as free as maybe what he thought he would have. And so I would say, I don't know if it was an obstacle or barrier, but it showed us that, we got to respect the differences in each other's, especially the background, your home, brought up, see, we usually say in the Bahamian term, and also your family life. And many couples today now may be facing the same thing because the cultures in the 2 different homes are different. And so we have to learn how to kind of marry those with being comfortable with each other. And so after and then too, because something like that could come over into the marriage, because I am used to this authoritative, leadership, supportive provided father. And then here I am now married to someone who did not grow up with that, seeing that, or seeing it emulated, or the example. Man, he said he had a grandparent or an uncle, but it wasn't no direct like how I lived with it.
Mhm.
It was there for him, but he didn't have to live it. So I had to get used to having a man who wasn't there yet. There yet. But
Are you stressing that?
Yes, I hear that. It sounds like we need to hear some more, but that there yet.
I'm still not there yet. On the road. Still on the road.
I know, Doctor Burrows, you wrote a book and relating and to be able to help men who might have been, without their fathers and stuff. How does this connect and relate to when we have these marriages and these men may not be there as yet? And what could you tell them?
Good question.
Yeah, I love the question. I appreciate that. One of the things I would say is, for me, I had to do some self-education, number one. Look for the seminars. She and I went to several seminars during our early stage of marriage. But I think the greatest help for me was looking at what I thought was a good marriage and try to draw from that. Because growing up in a single home, you miss out on not having a model of what a marriage should be, good or bad, much less a good one, because some models are not good. And so looking for a model and looking for a marriage that was seemingly doing well. And I saw that in her parents. You see, I saw that in her parents. I saw that in my brother-in-law, who was married to her sister. They seemingly had a good marriage, a respectful marriage, a marriage that was growing, not perfect, mind you, but it was a good model in my book, because I didn't have a model at all. And then my pastor, Reverend Peter Pinder, and Sister Joyce, I thought they had a stable marriage. Again, not perfect, but stable. And so I would say to a man who might not have had a model growing up, that's not an excuse to be a deadbeat husband. Is to self-educate yourself. There's YouTube with videos. There are programs like the one you're doing tonight to the Patricks, and I congratulate you. And secondly, I want to congratulate you all for the book. It's a book that I think could make a difference. And so you have to read. If you don't know something, you read. You go to a seminar, go to a workshop. She and I did a lot of that. And again, as I said, but look for a model that you can emulate and say, you know what, I could see some good here, and pull from that, pull from the other resources within your sphere of operation. And that helps. It has helped me.
Yes, and even when we were doing that, it wasn't as easy as it is now. Look away what we are doing right now in the comfort of our homes.
Yeah.
So someone could just go on their phone and glean something, learn something, get more educated.
Tune into this.
Yes, that's what I mean, right here. Whereas for us, we had to travel. We had to go and find books or ask for books, and then invest financially and all of it. You couldn't just order a book. You couldn't just go on YouTube. You couldn't just go to the Patrick's Unique Couple. Right now, it's so much easier, I find, and so many people who they can just glean from or go to whatever they need. If it's finances as a couple, it's trying to get the communication as a couple. Whatever it is, I think you can find it. And so it's amazing, for the goodness of God, for how we can improve ourselves. But sad to say, many still not taking advantage of it.
Yes.
No. And before we go on, I want to piggyback and add, I think today we are void of excuses as to why we can't, be a better husband and to grow as a husband or a wife. I think we are without excuse. We can find a way around that to grow and mature. and be a husband who could bring fulfillment and satisfaction to his wife, and vice versa.
Mhm.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much. That's a
Yeah.
lot of awesome nuggets. And man, there you have it. We have to self-educate ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to do better, man. So talking to the men,
Mhm.
Yes.
and
Talk to them.
and because when it's time to go to seminars and workshops, the ladies, they don't have a problem doing those things. They
Nope.
come out in the hundreds.
Hundreds.
Yeah, but us men, we scrapping to get 20, 30.
on a good day.
And
Yes.
Yeah, so
And what also happens to Vito, not to cut you off, is that the same thing with counseling. We do professional counseling, try with couples, but you hear so often women would reach out.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then you would hear, my husband doesn't want to come.
Mhm.
And it's so sad because when they're trying hard to keep the marriage together and the husband doesn't want to come, because what can they tell me? I don't know. What can that man tell me that I don't know already? They have their problems just like us. Why we need to go to them? Not
Mm.
understanding that in each professional who have studied, whether it's a plumber or a doctor or an electrician, we all need each other. It's
Yeah.
just that with our profession and our studies, we did it in relationship.
Mm.
Relationship.
And
How
40
to-
years of marriage, 40 plus years of
And
marriage.
the experience of marriage and children.
Yes.
Mhm.
But I always feel bad for those wives who cannot get their husbands there. But I tell you, if you hear a man calling,
Finish.
it's a problem. It's a big problem if a
Yeah, the
man
ship
calling.
is sinking.
Yes. Yes.
or as I call that the Titanic syndrome when a man calls. It's the Titanic syndrome. It's already below the water, the surface.
Mm.
Yeah.
Sinking. Well, sunken.
Yes.
Yeah. And like you mentioned, the resources are available,
Yes.
and they are easily available because, like you
Mhm.
mentioned, back in the day, there wasn't any YouTube. You
Nope.
had to travel, you had to go search for books. But today, everything is right there. So, like Dr. Burrows mentioned, self-education
Yeah.
is still crucial. It's still important because
Mhm.
we still should continue growing. As long as we are breathing on this earth, we should be learning something new every day.
Yes.
That may
Yes.
be an old saying, but that is true because
It works.
we all know technology is continuously changing. Just to get your own money out the bank, you better be able to know how to do that.
You better remember your password.
Because some of these banks don't want you come inside the bank anymore. So,
Of course not.
yeah, so
Yeah.
you have to continue growing.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Interesting.
and also has the bank, those are trying to improve. Marriage is also a little bit different than it was when we
Yeah.
got married at 40 years. Things has changed, cultures have changed,
Mindset.
environment, mindset, exactly, and even the educational level of different people. And then too, the world is smaller. And so you would find a lot more interracial marriages that you always saw before. And then you see people interacting with each other differently than they did before. You're seeing more, like I said, the interracial, you're seeing more of a spans of age. You're seeing more of a spans of IQ level. You're
Yes.
seeing a lot of spans of business-wise and even in culture and friendship.
Yes.
It's really different. And so
changing.
even in that, we try to keep up to see where the trend is, why, and how to help them to cope because of that. Even the blendedness of families,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
very much, so much different. You know,
Mhm.
you could see a family who has 3 different last names. And
Yep.
yes. So
Yeah.
so marriage is even different now in 2025 than when we got married 40 years ago, 43.
That's, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Celebrate
that's a
our-
subject. That's a subject for another talk show.
Yes,
Yes.
I celebrate our 43rd.
Is it? Yeah.
Next week.
82?
Next
Next week.
Yes,
Awesome.
awesome.
Oh,
Congratulations.
yeah,
Yeah,
27th. Yeah, whenever that is. Yeah.
All right. That's next week, Thursday.
Okay, thank you. Thanksgiving Day.
Yep.
Awesome. So that'll
Awesome.
be a lot
Awesome.
to give thanks for.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
43 years.
Yes.
Yes.
For those of you that are just tuning in, we are on day 17 of the 7 Pillars to Strengthen Your Marriage Summit, Marriage on a Mission. If you haven't gotten your book as yet, 7 Pillars to Strengthen Your Marriage, you want to go ahead and get your book. You can find it on Amazon. You can also find it here locally in Grand Bahama at Variety Vault
I see y'all
downtown in the Independence Square. You can also find it at Bellevue Gift on Queens Highway. Or if you want your personally signed autograph copy, you can reach out to Linda and I to get your book, 7 Pillars to Strengthen Your Marriage.
Man.
In the book, 7 Pillars to Strengthen Your Marriage, there was a contribution in that book from the Burrows. And to the Burrows, can you just tell the viewing audience a little about your contribution and also tell us your favorite part of the book?
Okay. Who's going to go first?
What do you want a contribution?
You want to contribute?
You go ahead. That's my favorite part.
Oh, okay.
Oh, let me shout out. I see Pastor Stir Up is on. Thanks for joining us. Share. We're coming to you next.
Yes.
You can go ahead.
Well, in the contribution we made on one of the pages, on page 71 of the book, we talk about some do's and don'ts in marriage. They are simple, but when not applied, they can become, cat 5, like a hurricane cat 5. Number 1, it says, don't yell at your spouse. There's no need for that. Don't call your spouse derogatory names. And it's amazing how easily some folks do that.
Yeah.
Don't embarrass your spouse. Why would you want to do that? And then you have to go home. Don't curse your spouse. Don't complain about your spouse to everyone, especially other family members. And the do's, compliment your spouse, as often as you can. Show some kind of affection to your spouse. Speak respectfully to your spouse. Spend time, and sometimes people say quality time, but just spend time, with your spouse, and listen attentively to what your spouse is saying and not saying. And I often say, don't just listen to the words, but listen to the emotion beneath the words, and to draw from that, not just the words spoken, but what's beneath the word. What are those emotions saying to you? And that requires really attentive listening. So those are some of the contributions we made. I don't know if she wants to.
I will go with his question.
His question was.
Yeah. The question was,
what is your favorite part of the book?
I have a favorite part too. What Vito wrote. Go ahead.
I think this is chapter 5. Yeah, where we were. No, not chapter 5. And I'm saying I liked when we were talking about the love language, getting to know your spouse and the love language, because I think a lot of us have roadblocks, and sometimes you have arguments because everybody do not know how the spouse wants to be loved. Yes, I love you. Yes, you may think I want these things, but I may not want a gift all the time. I may just want you to affirm me. I may just want you to spend some time with me. So get to know your spouse's love language, because too many times we would give what we want to receive, not necessarily what the spouse wants or how it speaks love to them. For example, I talked about the gift giving. I love gifts. I could get a gift and it doesn't even have to be big. Something small. He could bring me home a chocolate bar, some ice cream. Just let me know he was thinking about me all day and bring something. Now, I bought him, he was out of cologne. So I said, let me just treat him. I just went and bought 2 bottles of cologne so he didn't have to complain again or he don't have to use the same one all the time. He didn't open the gifts.
All my business.
That doesn't mean anything to him. One of the grandchildren come, oh, what is this? I said, that they call him Papa's gifts. I could open it. He said, yes, open it for me. Let me see what's there. He didn't even know this is cologne. And one other time, I mean, years ago when I really got hurt, I gave a Christmas gift and it was on the shelf for maybe 2 years. It don't matter. Earlier on in our marriage, I really had to get over that because that's what I want. So I gave him a gift and he just, I mean, that was on the shelf for 2 years. It's a good thing it was not perishable. But he needed cologne. So I mean, I just say, okay, let me be nice, you know. And
she's not telling the full story. I told her if she wants to buy a gift for me, don't need to wrap it, just bring it and say, I bought this. Then I would have known I had cologne. You don't have to surprise me.
Y'all ever heard of anybody like that?
I'm sad to say. I love the pretty wrapping and all that stuff, but my gift will probably stay wrapped in the box for a long time too.
Yeah, you go.
I'm not really a gift person. I think that's the point she's trying to make. Yeah, we have to definitely learn to love in our spouse's love language.
Yes, that's important. That's because some spouses just want that quality time.
Yes.
Exactly.
Just want that quality time. So
exactly.
Linda, you are unique for real. I don't think I've met a lady yet who is not too particular about a gift. So now I met one.
Yeah. So I won't discuss it, but Vito, I like chapter 4.
okay, awesome. So for those of you who haven't gotten your book as yet, make sure you get your book so you can read chapter 4.
That's my favorite one.
Gift.
That's a word YouTube doesn't really want us to say. So I'm not gonna say it. Get your book.
Get your book. I think that was a good that was a good chapter, good contribution.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome,
and I would recommend that chapter.
Yes, all about passion. Yes, definitely. I think I see someone commented or is commenting. Oh, Nano. Okay, I can't really see the name. Anna or something. Wow, I love this stuff. I'm so upset. I can't see it now.
Just saw this. And you are on day 17. I missed a lot.
Yes. And when you were talking about the gift,
I see Jared.
Jared said,
Jared is in the house. So he was cherishing it.
Thank you, Jared. Jared is my friend.
And so true, Rev Stephanie. Yes. Alice is saying that.
Yes, Reverend Alice, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Okay.
So we have reached the part of the segment that our audience, they just love this part.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we get our number one tip or recommendation. So can you tell our viewing audience, what is your number one tip or recommendation to making relationships stronger, healthier, and happier? And there can be no repeats. So this is day 17. So what happened on the past 16 days? We don't want to hear it again.
All right.
But go ahead.
My tip would be for couples is to have a meeting with each other. Sometimes we say we'll go on a date, but the date is to be more relaxing and enjoying one another. But just how you would want to meet with a doctor, you want to meet with your boss, you want to have a meeting with someone, have a meeting so that you can discuss goals ahead, visions, or maybe you want to discuss a conflict that had happened in the past. But sometimes you do not explain, or you probably was upset, but you didn't say anything. And for some couples, it keep building and building until it explodes. So I say every so often, ask each other, have this is a meeting just for us to improve our marriage. And we used to do that on our anniversary. We haven't done it in a while. Tell me, how can
Maybe
I
we'll discuss everything.
Yeah, you must be after 40 years, you must be already discussed. Tell me, as a wife, how I can be a better wife to you. Not a better, just a better wife to you. That is a good question to start with. What in the past have I done to make you feel uncomfortable? And two, even as we meet as couples, people even need to meet and have meetings as a family. The children ought to know the light bill is very high now. We don't have the funds all of the time to turn on the air condition. So I prefer if you all do not turn on the air condition. We're going to have a family meeting, because when we are eating, we don't want any cell phones at the table. And so from now on, as the dad or as the mom, I'm going to say, whenever we are eating, no cell phones. Instead of during that time, people are, put down the cell phone, get away. Why'd you bring, well, he have a cell phone, why can't you bring mine? What? Have the meeting and make the rules, and then don't make the rules when it's in the middle. Try to see how much you can do it before. And even as a couple, how, and then when I ask him, how can I be a better wife? I would make a suggestion to him how I think he can be a better husband. But even in saying that, I don't want to hear him say, be a better wife, but I need you to really put on 25 pounds in 3 months, or lose 25 pounds. Give things that you know people can meet or do over time. Don't make it so stringent or hard. If you want to say, well, I would prefer if when we are going out, because he had to tell me this before, I want you to try to really be on time. I think we'd be running a little bit later.
Still.
I think we would want, and he said still, but I just get the neck of time. I
can't deal with that. That stresses me out.
Don't get in trouble, Dr. Burrows. I understand what you're saying with the time thing. Yes.
Yeah. But see, now I could piggyback on what she was saying with the tip I would give. There are times when, as couples, we are good at expressing satisfaction, but not dissatisfaction. We keep that to ourselves. We keep that in. And I think that goes with what she's saying. I should be able to say to my spouse, I wish you would work on being on time a little more, without being blaming or condescending or belittling, So I would say, how do we express dissatisfaction and still be loving about it? We're good at saying the good things, but there are times when we need to express what dissatisfies us, what is causing the ruffle, and to do so in a way that still leaves both of us still loving each other, caring about each other, and genuinely trying to enhance the marriage. And the other thing I would say to folks, especially to really maintain a good marriage through the years, is to always remember the vows you made on the day you get married. And I think that would be a good way to go. Is that, think about what you said on the day you got married, before God, your friends, your family. And if we could strive to live those out, we would be on the right track.
Mm-hmm. And also, to add what I was saying about the meetings, I can also express to him what could probably help me to be better on time.
Yes.
I could say, maybe if you dress one of the children for me, then that could help me to be better on time. Maybe if you could help me the night before, if we do this, or maybe if you could help me iron my clothes before the night, it could help me to be better on time.
True.
And so all of this is happening in a more peaceful conversation and in a peaceful way, instead of, oh, you're always not on time, but you don't help me. When it's the meeting, everyone can express themselves in a more amicable way and a peaceful way and have the exchange. But then make sure that after the meeting, we are all satisfied, and we're going to try to do our best to do what we say we're going to commit to do.
Good. It's a good one.
Definitely,
Yes,
definitely. I like
excellent.
how you all two blended those 2 points, because the reality is sometimes we allow things to happen in the spur of the moment, and then it becomes an argument, and then everyone gets defensive. But if you plan for it and have it in the couples meeting and discuss these things, even if it's just once a year, um, and you have this in the couples meeting, then it will help the process and what, the living, the daily, everyday living be easier, and then you'd have less conflict in your marriage. So that is definitely
It
something
works.
that we
It
encourage
does work.
couples to do.
And sometimes too, something may come up, and you would just say, you know what, I'll just wait until we're going to meet. I can live with that. I'll just wait.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So those are definitely some
Yes.
good points.
Yes, that's definitely a tip we didn't have, and that was excellent. I just love how both of you put it together. Excellent tip.
Yes. Anna is saying definitely that's an awesome tip. I love it. I love it. And definitely go back and catch day numbers 1 through 16 that you missed. It's all on YouTube, so you can get it. Facebook is going to take it down eventually. So go ahead. You can catch it all on YouTube, and go ahead and share as well. And so I know we're getting ready to wrap up, and we said 30 minutes or less, but I know this is going to be very juicy. So we're trying to contain ourselves.
You know, the haters love juicy stuff. We love juicy stuff.
But we definitely couldn't stop this. We couldn't stop this. Yes. Yeah, so we know, people will have conflicts, people will have, issues in marriage. It is normal. So if you're facing that now in your relationship, we're saying reach out, just reach out and get the help. It's available. The Burrows will also let you know how you can reach out to them, to see them physically in a physical location and all of that. And another thing, Minister Stephanie, when you talk about how, the women would always be the ones to, go and call for counseling and all that stuff, even something as simple as, like y'all mentioned, y'all went to the workshops and the seminars, and, you had to go and do this physically to go and get it, and the resources, and you spent your money. When we look at even having events, it's like pulling teeth to try and get, couples and young, and mostly the older ones may come to try to get young couples to actually attend, because we need to be proactive in how we address and relate to issues. It's not, oh, I'm having problems, and then that's when I try to go, but it's trying to maintain this healthy relationship. And that's why even like for December 7th, when we're having this all white couples affair, and we've got some sponsors and people to kind of like keep the price low. So, hey, money is not an excuse. And we know people pay for what they want.
Right.
But we want to say, hey, make this a priority in your relationship as well. Attend these seminars, watch these videos, go to counseling if you need the outside help, and you need someone to be, a partial air, and to basically show you all, the blind spots and stuff. Go and do those things. And sometimes it is just so hard to get people to see the value, but we know it is indeed valuable. So we're going to say, hey, all white night, couples retreat, join us, Pelican Bay, 5 p.m. on December 7th. Be a part of that. And of course, the Burrows will let you know how you can reach out to them and get the help, get the assistance that you need.
Yes, get the help that you need, because help is available. And as we bring this conversation to a conclusion, can the Burrows tell our viewing audience, what are you doing now or have planned, and let our audience know how they can get in touch with you?
Well, right now we have a retreat for February 14th. It's going to be, we'll be speaking at a retreat in the West End. And we also have one in Nassau. So if anybody listening from Nassau, we'll also be in Nassau. And you can reach us at 351-242-351-8311. Especially if you are an engaged couple, we would really love to have you, to help you to see and steer you towards what marriage could be like, because so many so in love and just so busy planning a wedding that they're not planning the marriage. That is
Yep.
where my burden is. Let's plan this marriage. And so even for who's listening up there, I would say to them, find out who is a good counselor and buy a 1 hour session for the bride or the groom, for the bride and groom as a gift. Let that be the shower gift for them. Buy them a session.
Good idea.
And maybe it will help them to continue.
Yeah, and before we close, let me add, if you're a couple out there and you are having challenges in your marriage, and that happens from time to time, you may not need a complete overhaul, maybe just a tune up. You know, Stephanie and I, we do counseling, but as she said earlier, unfortunately, most folks wait until it's too late. And many marriages, I feel, could have been helped had we sought counseling just a little earlier. Like any other, ailment in the body, if you wait too late, it's probably too late. And, the thing I always say, Mr. and Mrs. Patrick, is this: you cannot bail water off a sinking ship.
No.
You have to plug the hole at the very outset of the leak.
Yeah.
And I say to couples, if you're having, we're not just the only one. You guys in this profession also, and we have some other counselors, so they're good pastors who do a good job. Don't wait until the ship is about to sink.
Yeah.
But seek help in the early stages.
Definitely.
Help is available.
Yes, sir.
Help, reach out to the Burrows and get the help that you need.
And I also like what you said with the self-education. Attending the retreats, attending the seminars, attending the couples events, all of that is a way to keep your relationship healthy. So that, hey, you hear about this other couple's experience, even watching, the 30 days that we've been doing, right? Hearing about someone else's experience and how they overcome it. And then you learn from other people's mistakes. And some things that I've seen people do, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to make that mistake. Because we don't have to experience everything. We could learn from others as well. The good and the bad. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the roadmap is already there. The playbook is there. So you can go ahead and make sure you use that playbook. You don't need to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
So make sure get the help that is needed so you can have a healthy, thriving marriage.
Yes. So, man, go and get that book, Daddy. Remind me of the title again.
Daddy, please don't go.
Yes. Daddy, please don't go. Of course, women, you can read it and share it as well. Go ahead. Make sure that you are indeed educating yourself so that you can leave a legacy behind for your children, because we have to create those breakthroughs. We want our children and the people, our families and our community, our country to be better, because our marriages are healthy and because that is going to make a big difference worldwide.
Yes. We want to say a big thank you to the Burrows for taking time of their schedule to be here with us on day number 17 of the 7 Pillars to Strengthen Your Marriage Summit, Marriage on a Mission. To our unique couples community, thank you also for tuning in. And make sure you tune in again tomorrow, 6 p.m., same time, same place, for another exciting series tomorrow, as we have another dynamic couple that will be coming on.
Yes.
Here at Unique Couples, we are building stronger couples, healthier marriages, and happier families. Love you guys. Have a great rest of the evening and see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.